Hey everyone, how's it going? For this week's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about Halloween candy. Halloween was this past Friday, and it's I don't know, I hate to say this, but the unofficial kickoff to the holiday season, because we get Halloween, and we get Thanksgiving, and then we get Christmas, and then we get New Year's. And so there's a lot happening, a lot of good stuff happening between beginning of November and beginning of January. But with all of these holidays comes a lot of food. And so today I was reminded of the struggles that people have. It's Monday, so it's a few days after Halloween. Halloween was on a Friday. And I walked into the bakery at my office today when I first got in to fill up my water bottle. And there, even at 8:30 in the morning, when only a couple people are in the office, is a giant pile of candy sitting on the table in the break room. And this is an important topic to talk about. It's something that we talk about every year as we start to get into the holiday season here. And it's just the abundance of hyper palatable foods that are going to be around from now until New Year's. And specifically, the Halloween candy thing. And it's going to be the Christmas cookies and the Thanksgiving desserts and blah, blah, blah. It's very common for people to just have a lot of this stuff hanging around the house now. All right. So if you have kids or you have a lot of trick or treaters in your neighborhood, you probably have leftover Halloween candy in your house right now. I do. My kids have went trick or treating twice, actually. So we have plenty of Halloween candy in the house right now. There's Halloween candy sitting in the break room of my office currently. And there will be candy probably around for quite a bit of time here, probably for the next 2 weeks or so. And it's going to be hard for people to resist eating the candy. And even I had a couple clients who have young kids and whatnot, preparing for Halloween, stuff like that, had Halloween candy in the house. And I started seeing it pop up on their food box as well, because they're super honest and which I appreciate, reporting the candy that they're eating. But it's hard for a lot of people to resist the temptation of candy or anything that's hyper palatable in your food environment. So this is why we talk about, in general, controlling the food that is around you is so important, because if the food isn't there, if the candy or the sweets or whatever it is that you crave or can overeat very easily isn't easily accessible, you're not going to eat it. But if the candy is on the table in the break room as you're going to fill up your water bottle a couple times a day for the next 2 weeks, you're probably going to take a piece or two a day and eat it. And once you have one piece, it's going to trigger the craving for more pieces and stuff like that. Same is true as if it's in your house. If your kids have candy in the house, or you have leftover candy from Halloween and you know it's in the cabinet or in their bucket or whatever, you take the mom or dad tax, right? You grab a piece of candy and here or there as you're in the house or whatnot. And this starts to add up, right? One small piece of candy might be 70 calories or 60 calories. You have a couple of pieces a day, every single day for several weeks. That's several 100,000, and 2,000, but several thousands of calories that you wouldn't have otherwise been eating. So you can see the problem here. So the question is, what do we do about it? I'm not going to tell you to take all your kids' candy and just throw it in the garbage, right? And they're going to be pretty upset about that. I've been telling you not like that your kid should ever have candy because clearly my kids are having candy. And you have your own strategy about manage your kids' intake of hyperpalatable foods, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about you know, how you're going to manage your candy intake here. And for situations like I'm in at work, I can't take all the candy, several hundred pieces of candy that are sitting on the break room table and throw them in the garbage, right? It's not my candy. I don't know who put it there. I'm not a fish. I can't do that, right? I want to do it, but I can't do it. So I have to walk by that candy and not take a piece. And how do I go about doing that? So for me, candy's not really my thing. There are plenty of other things that I crave, plenty of other things I would overeat. Candy's not one of them. Sure, I have a couple pieces of candy that I love peanut M&Ms. I love Reese's. Physically, pretty much with my two very cute candies, I was to choose any. But I've had Snickers and all the candies, right, in the past. But I don't really have a strong desire for them. So there's that, right? I mean, there's your personal preference about what you really like to eat. Some people like candy, some people don't. Well, if you don't particularly enjoy candy, then it's not really as big of an issue. I can't lie, that when I walked by the table this morning, there was a couple of Reese's sitting out. I was like, Reese's sounds really good. But ultimately, the reason why I don't take it and why I probably will not take a piece of candy for however long it's sitting there, and for however long my kids have candy in the house, which is, I've already told them they have 10 days and the candy's gone. But the reason why I won't take a piece is because I always ask myself, what is so special about this candy? It's just Reese's, Snickers. It's all your candy that at any time of the day, 365 days of the year, virtually anyone in the United States could go get this candy, right? It's not like it's artisan-made candy that you can only get at this one time, in this one situation. It's super special. And if you don't take advantage of it right now, you're never going to see it again. Oh, I can go get a Reese's whenever I want, any day of the year, right? I can go have peanut M&Ms whenever I want, 365 days a year. There's nothing special about this candy. So why do I want to or need to eat it right now? Why do I need to eat it like I'm never going to be able to eat it again? Because fact of the matter is I can eat it whenever I want if I want to, right? And so I tell myself that, and I also give myself permission that I'd rather enjoy, for example, a bag of peanut M&Ms if I'm going to the movies with my kids and we're like doing the traditional movie there. Get some little more movie candy and sit down and watch a movie or whatever, right? I don't want to eat candy by myself at a desk in my office. There's nothing special about that. I'm going to eat the candy. I want it to be like a meaningful experience. And between the fact of telling myself that I can get this candy whenever I want, wherever I want, any day of the year, so there's nothing really special about it, and it's not going anywhere. And if I eat the candy now, like, that means I probably shouldn't eat the candy when I really want to eat the candy when I'm watching a movie with my kids or something like that. Some other unique situation where the candy might pop up. So between those two things, maybe we'll just walk by that candy on the table and not really bother with it, or resist the candy that's in my kids, for my kids when they're trick-or-treating, if it's in the cabinet at home right now. So I find that playing a little bit of a mental shift and change the way you're looking at this stuff really helps, right? It also helps if you are not, if you're well fed with proper food, right? So when I walked in to my break room this morning at the office and the candy was there at 8:30, I initially thought, oh, the piece of Reese's were really good. I hadn't eaten breakfast yet. So I hadn't had anything to eat. And I had worked out this morning. And it wasn't just like a easy workout. I lifted weights, deadlifts, etc. And so I was pretty hungry at that point. But I had my breakfast already prepared with me, sitting at my desk, and I knew, okay, I gotta eat my breakfast first, at least, at the very least, before I even consider this candy. I need to eat some real food, right? I need to whole natural foods. And sure enough, after I'd eat my food, drank my bottle of water, had a little bit of coffee, I don't have any more cravings. I feel like candy. I've walked by it 3 or 4 more times, and I don't really mind. So a little bit of mindset shift, a little bit of just making sure you're well fed. If you're not hungry, of course you're hungry, like they see a Reese's, and that sounds even more attractive then, right? Making sure you're eating real food, making sure you're thinking about your decisions, and do you really want to eat this candy right now? Is it really that special? Is it that meaningful? And so you can take the same stuff that I just talked about with regards to Halloween candy, and you can apply this to all the holiday treats that are going to be in your house and in your office for now until after New Year's. The same strategy is what I tell my clients, is what I work with them on, to what I use myself, obviously. And so this is something to keep in mind, not only for the Halloween candy, but for the leftover Thanksgiving food, all the holiday parties, the cookies, the cakes and everything. You end up in the break room and you're sitting on the counter, all that stuff. There's a time and place to celebrate that. Yeah, on Thanksgiving, have a piece of pumpkin pie, have, your favorite homemade cookies. On Christmas. For me, New Year's, my birthday, and having birthday cake. There are special occasions, have the treats, have desserts, have things that you really are truly meaningful for you on those occasions. The rest of the time, you need to pick and choose your places, and you have to really shift your mindset out of this, it's there, I'm going to eat it no matter what type of situation. Talk to yourself, think about it, really consider your options. Do you really want this? How special is this food, etc.? And that can go a long ways to resisting these foods, as they're inevitably going to pop up over the next few months. So that's this week's video. It's relevant not only for this week, but also for the next several weeks. I hope you find it useful. Any questions, comments, thoughts, please leave them in the comments below or reach out to me directly. If you want to keep up with all the content that I put out, these videos, my newsletter is the best place to do that. You can go to rjbhealth.coach and click on the newsletter link at the top of the page and enter your email address, and that's how you jump on the newsletter. And if you are looking for coaching similar to the stuff I talked about today on a one-on-one basis, I do have a couple of one-on-one spots open. You can go to my website, rjbhealth.coach. Again, this time you're going to click on the schedule discovery call button right on the homepage. Fill out that form. I'll get back to you and talk a little bit more about coaching. Or you can just reach out to me directly and we can schedule time to catch up, chat about that. With that, I hope everyone has a great week. Have a great Halloween. And I'll talk to you all soon.